Shelley Barlow Creations. If you're new to my channel and you're stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget, more everything on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube should notify you every time I upload a new video, depending on the option that you choose in the drop-down menu of the bell. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can find those links, you guessed it, in the description box below. What have I got going on for you for today? Today, I'm bringing to you a DIY that is very similar to one that I did right around Thanksgiving time using the pumpkin plaques at the Dollar Tree. Only today, I am doing it using these shamrock plaques. I'm not one who really decorates a lot for St. Patrick's Day. I really only decorate for the three main holidays, which would be Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving. Well, I just really said that out of order, didn't I? Thanksgiving, Christmas, then Easter. Those are really the holidays that I mainly decorate for. But I do have these sign holders that I DIY'd a couple years ago, and I've got 3 of them up in my house. And because I don't have any St. Patrick's Day signs, I thought that these shamrocks would be perfect for those sign holders. They're easy to do. They have such a rustic farmhouse feel. I did do a piece last week of a leprechaun that I absolutely love. And so these are 2 of the pieces that I will most definitely be putting out every year for St. Patrick's Day. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the description box below. It was a fun transformation of the leprechauns from the Dollar Tree. But today we're going to be transforming this shamrock plaque into something rustic and farmhouse using almost 100% Dollar Tree items. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it and let's transform this shamrock plaque into something so rustic, farmhouse, and chic. You're gonna love this. It's gonna make you wanna decorate for St. Patrick's Day if you don't already. Oh my word, this is my favorite part of crafting, starting a new project. I'm gonna start off by disassembling the 2 shamrocks. There's really not much holding them together except for this string, so you can just cut it off or pull it off. It comes off pretty easily. For this shamrock DIY, you're gonna need 2 of Dollar Tree's scarves. If you wanna use fat quarters or fabric, you can, but I just thought that this was such a cool way to utilize these scarves, and the prints on them are pretty stinking cute. They've got a pretty good selection. I decided to go with this darker one because I feel like I could really work with it and give it more of a rustic feel than I could with some of the other prints. Although if I could have gotten my hands on this green plaid one, this would have been perfect, but I just wasn't able to find it. It never did make it to any of the Dollar Trees in my area. You're gonna wanna find the seam on the inside of the scarf, and you're gonna just cut along that seam so you're not wasting much of the fabric. Then I'm gonna fold the scarf into 4s, which is just folding it in half, then in half again. This makes it a lot easier to cut. You're not cutting as long of a strip, and your strips are gonna be more even. I'm gonna cut 1-inch strips out of both scarves. Once you've got all your pieces cut, they should be about this size. You're gonna go ahead and fold it in half, and you're gonna have a hoop here at this end. You're gonna slide it under your shamrock, and your shamrock is face up. You're gonna open up that loop there, and once you open it up, which I was having a really hard time doing, you're gonna slide the tails of the scarf through, tightening it up, and that's all there is to it. Super easy to do. This is one of those DIYs that you could sit down on the couch with your pile of strips, you can watch a movie, and by the time the movie's over, you will have wrapped your complete shamrock. Don't worry too much about the fabric fraying. I think it just kind of adds character to it and gives it that torn linen feel. So at the end, you should be left with your shamrock looking like this. Look at how fun this is. I'm not real sure if I want to keep the stem like this. I'm going to continue on with the DIY and see how I feel at the end. Now taking the center shamrock, I don't have any felt, so I'm going to use some black construction paper. You can get construction paper at the Dollar Tree. It's going to work just as well. So as usual, by taking some Mod Podge, I'm going to give this shamrock a good coating of Mod Podge right over the glitter. No need to remove it and make a huge mess. You can just cover this right up You really want to be generous with the Mod Podge because you really want that construction paper to adhere to it. Once you've got a good coat of that Mod Podge, you're going to go ahead and place the construction paper right down on top of this shamrock. I'm not going to wait for this to dry because I want this DIY to move along. And so I'm just going to flip this over, and using a straight edge razor, I'm going to remove the excess paper. Because I have some leftover green burlap, actually I have a lot of leftover green burlap because I bought a bunch of colors from Hobby Lobby when I saw that you could get a yard of burlap for $2.39. $2.39 for a yard is amazing, especially when Dollar Tree only has a roll for $1, and half the time the one roll isn't big enough, so you need two. You can still do this DIY using Dollar Tree's burlap. You're just gonna have to paint it. And that is something that I have done several times here on my channel before I discovered Hobby Lobby's colored burlap. I was like a kid in a candy store, so stinking excited. So I bought several colors because to me, I'm gonna save money in the long run and time not having to paint it. And this is a tighter woven burlap. It's a better quality burlap than that of the Dollar Tree. I like using the one at the Dollar Tree. I think it's great if you can get your hands on it. Just remember that you're gonna have to back it up with a felt or a construction paper, and you're gonna have to paint it. So I went ahead, I applied some Mod Podge to the top of the black construction paper, and I'm gonna place my burlap down on top. Then, as again usual, I'm gonna apply another coat of Mod Podge over the top of the burlap because this is really just gonna harden that burlap and it's gonna adhere it to this shamrock even better. You're not gonna have to worry about it peeling up. Today I was feeling a bit impatient, so you can see that this isn't completely dry, but it's dry enough that I can go ahead and again with my razor remove the excess burlap. To darken up my edges, give this a little bit of distressing, I will be using some of Waverly's wax in the color of Antique. Now you can see here that some of the glitter is showing through. That's okay, don't worry about it, because when you go over it with your paintbrush and this antique wax, it's gonna cover it right up. So don't worry about being perfect when you're cutting. Even I make mistakes when I'm cutting. I get a little bit razor happy and I kind of goof a bit. It's okay because we're gonna cover it up with this antique wax. I'm really loving this brown with this green. They're both very muted colors, which is the type of person I am. I love earth tones. I love those muted colors. I'm not really into bright, vibrant colors. I never have really been that way. So I kind of gravitate toward these colors, which are very rustic. And so like I said, I'm gonna go along the outside edges of this shamrock. I'm not gonna distress the inside of this today. I feel like I just wanna add dimension to the outside and keep the inside of this shamrock clean because I'm really loving the color of this burlap. To attach this shamrock back to the inside of this, I'm not gonna poke a hole through the burlap and the fabric. I really just want it to stay solid and not noticeable. So on the back side, I'm gonna take some twine that's 2 layers thick. I'm gonna tighten a knot on both sides. I just feel like if you do it 2 layers thick, it's gonna be just a bit thicker and the inside shamrock isn't gonna move around as much. And I'm just gonna hot glue it to the back side. So it's still hanging, you're just not gonna see the holes. Because I'm gonna be hanging this from my DIY sign hanger that I made, I need another piece of twine, a bigger piece of twine. Now, if you're gonna hang this on a wall, you're gonna wanna add another piece of twine, just a smaller piece, and you're gonna hot glue it just to the back of the scarves here at the top, so it's not noticeable so you can hang this. This piece is actually hanging from 2 mini cup hooks on my sign, so I need the hanger, which is this twine, to kind of go out like a V because the hooks are about 6 inches apart. Hope I'm not confusing you. Again, if you want to see this DIY sign hanger, you really should click on the link down below because this is a fun piece and it is so budget friendly. And I tell you, just about every holiday or get together that I have, people ask me about this and they are really shocked when I tell them that I DIY'd it. And so here you can see I'm done and this is how it's gonna hang, just like so with the twine spread apart like this. Now taking this tin welcome, and I can't remember which holiday this was for. This must have been for Thanksgiving. I've been stocking up on these whenever they have them in stock for whatever holiday or season, because I want to be able to use them in future DIYs because they make for great embellishments. I'm just going to use some hot glue to adhere this onto the center of this center shamrock, and I'm going to do it at an angle. So yeah, I am not liking the stem with its original design on it. This is something that definitely needs to be fixed. I should have just went with the burlap in the first place, but this is going to be an easy fix since I have plenty of scraps to fix this. Okay, that is so much better. I should have just done this in the first place, but no big deal. It was easy to fix, and now it's looking the way it should have looked in the first place. Now I'm going to go back in with the Waverly Antique wax, and I'm just gonna darken up these edges just a bit. You can see here on this stem that the Mod Podge isn't completely dry, and I've got some of you telling me that the Mod Podge is still white after several hours. Here in the wintertime, it takes a bit of time for Mod Podge to dry. This here has been about 3 hours and it's still not completely dry. And I didn't want to pop it in the oven because I've got hot glue on this, so I didn't want to remelt the hot glue, so I've had to let this air dry. Over the next couple days, it'll be completely dry, the white will go away, and it'll be clear. So don't worry about that too much. I know it's a little frustrating because it kind of feels like it's an eyesore or a mishap, but it really isn't. It will go away with time. Oh my word, there we have it. What a fun piece is this. You know what I love about pieces like this is they're original, they're out of the ordinary. It's not something that you typically see for St. Patrick's Day. And those are the kind of creations that I love to create. It's just something different, something that screams my decor and my style. This is one of those DIYs, like I've said, that is such a versatile piece that you could really get creative with this. You can really make it your own because that really is what DIYing is all about. Now tell me this is not such a fun way to use these scarves. Dollar Tree always has these for each holiday. I think they even come out during the seasons too. You're gonna save yourself time. You're not gonna have to go to Joann's or Michael's and get yourself some fabric. You're gonna save money because these are only $1 a piece. And honestly, I really don't mind the fraying of the fabric on it. I feel like it adds character to it. It gives it that chic feel, that torn linen feel that I really love. And I think that this turned out to be such a fun rustic farmhouse piece, one that I'm not gonna mind adding to my decor every St. Patrick's Day because it's just gonna go with my decor of my home. I hope you all enjoyed today's transformation of these shamrock plaques that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and let's get this video to, you guessed it, 5,000 likes, because like I always say, each and every one of your thumbs up and those comments that you do leave down below, they really do help my channel to grow and it helps YouTube to notice me just a bit more. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget, and bye for now, everybody.